It's about what you want to be able to do 10, 15, 20, 30 years from now. What you do with your muscles now decide what your body will either be able and capable of doing or not. Oh my goodness, if I understood what strength training was, I would have started a long time ago. And I think everyone's thought process is it's about making these muscles bigger. But I want to change and reframe your whole perspective and thought process. It's about making your muscles stronger. And making your muscles stronger means you have better mobility, mean that you have better balance, mean that your bones are stronger, means that your entire body actually benefits from this simple and important concept of strengthening your entire body. All right, we're doing it now. So, all right. So what's one thing that's holding you back from movement? More movement. Come on. What's some things that's holding you back? Let's be honest tonight. Come on. I'm going to have real conversation, real dialogue. I'm not going to keep you along tonight, but what's one thing that's holding you back from movement? Come on.
Lack of accountability.
Lack of accountability, Kay. Yep, I understand that. Yep. That's right. That's part of the reason why we're here. The point of this community is that we're creating a space where we can actually hold each other accountable and we're able to actually enjoy supporting one another. So I appreciate you saying that. That's a really good thing. I think we're better together. So I love that. Flores said she got 2561. All right, Flores, you almost at 3,000. You'll get it in. All right, anybody else? What's one thing that's holding you back? Anybody else?
Myself.
Ooh, Clay said myself. Just honest. She said just me, myself, and I. I heard somebody else try to chime in.
I got one for you. What's holding me back from moving? That's the thing, from
My
moving.
walking partner is out of town.
All right.
Right now, I'm sitting in the chair studying quite a bit, trying to propel myself in some different directions. So that's holding me back a little bit.
So you said studying, and then Dr. Lisa said her walking partner is out of town. All right, all right. I feel that. All right. Anybody else? What's holding you back from getting more movement? What's holding you back? So you've heard folks say, me, myself, and I. We've heard folks say, just the struggle. We know the struggle is real, right? Accountability.
I would say the weather for me.
The weather. Oh,
it's been cold.
Come on, man. You speaking loud and clear, man. You see, say loud, say proud. Let me tell y'all something. So I love the snow, right? I just love the cold. So this tends to be this combination, though. I found that the snow and the cold tend to go together. They oftentimes just for just a strange. I don't know what it's about. I don't know why. I guess maybe because I don't know, maybe it's because it's freezing rain, but I don't know. It's the whole thing, right? So I find difficulty. I love to walk out and enjoy the snow, but I got a bundle for it. So I feel you on that stuff. That's my issue. And the rain. Oh man, there's nothing worse than cold rain. I'll deal with some. It's hot outside and it rains. That's kind of cool and refreshing. But that cold rain. Oh, cold and wet. That combo. I feel you. The weather's a big deal. Someone I love and care about dearly. She is solar powered. And so since she's solar powered, she needs that sun to come out for her to be able to enjoy walking and being outside and getting that movement in. So, I feel you on that. All right. Well, let's get into it tonight, y'all. I'm not going to, like I said, it's not going to be really long. For me, what we're doing, and I want y'all, as I mentioned earlier, for those that may have come a little later, what we're doing here is we're going to actually, this is no charge to anybody. This is our community. We have a team called the Dream Team. We're part of an incredible company called Window of Wealth. And we're going to, every Monday night, we come together, but we're not just learning and growing by ourselves. We want to bring others to be a part of the community, learn and grow alongside us. So we're sharing different things. We're going to have some experts that come in and talk about different things. We're going to talk about different topics. And tonight we're talking about strength training. And so the key behind this is it's more about understanding what strength training is and how it benefits you. Now, I want to make sure you're clear. I'm not here to get y'all like swole. That's not what this is about. Okay. If you think that you're about to be all massive like bodybuilders, no one's doing that. Okay. That's not the conversation. All right. If that's where you came tonight, sorry, wrong Zoom. Okay. Okay, I'll make sure let me start off with that and clarify. That's not what this is. All right, I want to make sure everyone understands. But it's about us being able to intentionally understand why strength training matters, right? Understand and be able to recognize that it helps with more energy. It actually helps with mobility. And here's the cool part. It's all about independence and quality of life. Like I think oftentimes we don't realize how important these factors are. So it's really important for us to understand how this is going to improve your quality of life. So let's kind of start off with this. You'll likely hear that, weights, the gym, it's too hard. People are saying that, there's all these things that make it difficult for them to be able to kind of strength train like that. That's what it's all about. But I'm curious to hear for you, when you think of strength training, what does strength training mean to you? Let me get a few people that respond. What does strength training mean to you? Let me hear folks real quick. Just chime in. Anybody that wants to share?
I really wasn't fully informed on strength training because I was thinking exactly what you thought, that it was going to bulk us up. So I said, let me come in here and listen, because maybe he going to educate me and I'll be better informed on
Good.
exactly what it is. Because I really
Good.
thought, I said, ain't nobody got time to be looking like, yeah, ain't nobody finna do none of that there. But yeah.
I appreciate that. All right, good, Kay. Thank you. Anybody else? When you think about strength training, do you think of folks that have no necks? What is it? What does strength training mean to you? Come on. Anybody else? When you think of strength training, what do you think of strength training?
If it's for business, it's, just honing up on your skills.
All right, awesome. So Michelle said holding up on your skills. All right, okay, awesome, like that. All right. Anyone else? When you think of strength training, what else? What do you think of strength training? Anybody else?
Hey, it's David.
Hey, David.
So I been going to a physical therapist here recently.
Okay.
A couple decades ago, I broke my hip and had a very severe accident. And so I've gone through strength training and been to the gym for a long time. It's made massive changes. But the thing I'm learning with this therapy is I was focused on just strength, making myself strong, and I ignored the kind of more stretching and other exercises until my body falls apart. But that's what I'm learning now. And so the point is, strength training is very important. When you let some muscles go in your body, wait till you get over 40, it becomes noticeable. It's important to make sure you're covering all the muscles in your body. Give yourself some regular exercise because it makes a difference. As I'm discovering, I should have done these things some years ago, but anyways.
Yeah. Thank you so much, David. I really appreciate that. And you're spot on. It's 100% correct. I think the average person, again, is thinking about, again, those words I said, weights, right? Yeah, it's about weight. Strength training is about, going to the gym. Like you think about these bodybuilders, these folks that are massive and muscular. And even if I kind of played on y'all's assumptions with the flyer I made, right? The flyer kind of showed all these cut people, these all strong. You're like, oh, right? That's what the focus was. And I intentionally did that on purpose to kind of play with what your expectations are. But I want you to kind of change your thought process. Tonight we're going to talk about it because it's completely opposite than what you think. The muscles that benefit from and that actually come from strength training aren't just about weights. So first of all, you don't need to go to this gym to strength train. Most folks don't realize that. A lot of people think that it's about the gym. It's about, it's about your body being able, and I think David said it best, it's using the muscles you have to be able to help those muscles to become stronger so they can better support your body. Now that's probably not what you've ever heard anyone say. I know I can say for me personally, as I began to do some research, I didn't realize that that's what it was about. So it's not about what we assume. In fact, here's the funny part. It's about, and David, you said this right, it's about what you want to be able to do 10, 15, 20, 30 years from now. What you do with your muscles now decide what your body will either be able and capable of doing or not. Now that's a whole different thought process, right? Because what David said was so spot on in regards to, oh my goodness, if I understood what strength training was, I would have started a long time ago, right? I remember back in college, obviously I was all like, I got good for the beach, right? That was the whole, let me try to get, try to do some stuff and try to see if I can get some abs to pop out or something, trying to make it, and I remember telling my friend, I said, well, I don't really need to work my legs, so my legs look fine. And my friend said to me, well, bruh, if there's muscles there, you got to work them. And I thought he was crazy. I said, bro, I don't need to have no big old calves. I don't need to do that, right? And I think everyone's thought process is it's about making these muscles bigger. But I want to change and reframe your whole perspective and thought process. It's about making your muscles stronger. And making your muscles stronger means you have better mobility, mean that you have better balance, mean that your bones are stronger, means that your entire body actually benefits from this simple and important concept of strengthening your entire body. So when David said that his physical therapist was like, you got to work your muscles, the first thing when I went to the gym, the trainer said, well, I said, I have knee problems. And so I said, well, I really can't do strength training around my knees. And she said, no, it's the complete opposite. You need to do strength training around your knees because the strength training you do around your knees will help your body support your knees. And as a result, you'll actually have less knee pain. And I was like, what? Like, a whole totally different thought process, right? I wasn't expecting that. So strength training is anything that challenges your muscles enough that they have to adapt and get stronger. I'll repeat that again. Strength training is anything that challenges your muscle enough that they have to adapt and get stronger. That could be weights, resistance bands, body weight movements, wall push-ups, squats to a chair, step-ups, and even carrying things with intention. So here's the crazy part. If you say part of what I want to do to strengthen my body is I know that going up and down these steps benefit me, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have 2-gallon bottles of water, and when I go up the steps, I just carry those about gallons of bottle of water up the steps, back and down. You're doing strength training. Crazy thought, right? Now, you don't even realize it. If you say a part of what I'm going to do while I'm sitting here, while I'm on a Zoom, is I'm simply going to use some level of resistance. It could be a band, it could be whatever, and I'm simply moving that band on my arms. I'm moving the band with my legs. I have my legs together. I'm simply extending my legs to use that band. You're strength training, right? And I want to make sure everybody understands. Most people are thinking it's got to be this huge, crazy thing. It doesn't have to be. And the better we understand that, the better it is for our bodies. So let's kind of talk about it. I'm curious, what are some things people already do that might count as strength work, even if you never called it that? So let me get some examples. Anybody that didn't realize till now what strength work was? Anybody that's now not realizing, but you were doing some strength work without even realizing? Anybody that has to want to share some things that you were now surprised to find that you've been doing some strength work, some strength training?
Walking up and down stairs.
Yep, walking up and down stairs. Yep, and 100% correct. Even just walking up and down the steps actually is strength training because the difference in resistance that comes with your body weight for going up and down steps is strength training. Who knew it, right? Anybody else? Go ahead, Emma. You have your hand up. I see you.
Yes. Thank you for the opportunity, Mr. Cecil, and everyone. Yes, I like to use resistor bands.
All right, resistance bands. Yep. And listen, y'all, resistance bands are really inexpensive on Amazon. You can get them for dirt cheap. They're really inexpensive, and they're a great tool. I have some right here in the room, and they're a great tool. And I've begun to start doing some things as I'm sitting, because I'm sitting for so long doing work, and I've done some things to try to help get some more movement to help me do that. All right. Anybody else? Anything else?
And just right quick, you can also get it for Walmart too.
Oh yeah,
resistor bands.
Yep.
Yes.
100%.
And I like to watch on YouTube videos too, all resistor bands, and I like to exercise as well.
They have some great videos, and that's the beautiful thing about YouTube. YouTube has all these things that you can do that actually are at home. You don't even have to leave the house and do a lot of resistance training and strength training that helps your body. All right. Anybody else? Anything else that you're doing that you may not realize was strength training?
I was going to say, like cleaning my house and dancing at the same time, you music on.
Nothing.
While I clean my house.
Not on. Not. I'm serious. Like people don't realize. Like I heard someone else say. I think it was Sylvia that said she likes to dance. And most folks don't realize that dancing is strength training. You don't even realize that. You're using those muscles in ways you don't even realize. And I love that you said cleaning the house. Let me tell you something. You know, I don't do it as much as I used to, but I used to go out. I love flowers. And so I'd go out in the yard and do some garden, like pull some weeds and do some stuff in the garden. Let me tell you something. My muscles would let me know that I did something different. I used muscles that I didn't realize I hadn't been using, right? How many of you have done something, some kind of activity, didn't even realize, and either a day or so later you were sore? That's just you using some muscles, and as a result of using those muscles, that gave you some benefit. So what I want you to understand is that whether it's carrying the laundry, whether it's gardening, whether it's as shared, climbing the stairs, some of you have little kids, like I think David, that lifting kids, standing up and sitting down repeatedly, like intentionally doing that and practicing that. All of those are things that actually, believe it or not, they're all versions of strength training. And I want you to understand this. Movement is good. Your mindset has to be that strength training doesn't have to be super specific. It just needs to be movement. And you can do movement by repeatedly doing certain movement to help your body to build strength. That's what it's about. And use and teach your muscles and bones how to handle resistance. So this is the key. It's about the resistance. If you're doing something that comes very easily, that's not resistance. It's not teaching the muscle or the bone how to be able to handle the resistance. The goal is to do things that push your body a little bit more than they normally do, and just something as simple as that actually has tremendous benefit. So let me give you all some facts. Like I like to give some facts as I wrap up tonight and give you some things to think about. Now, how many of you? Let me see. How many of you saw the flyer? How many of y'all saw the flyer that was? Anybody get to see the flyer that was shared with you? I'm curious.
Yes.
There were 3 things on the flyer. How many of you? I'm curious to hear. How
I
many
did
of you
not see the
actually?
flyer.
You didn't see the flyer? All right, I'll make sure I share it with you. But how many of you that saw the flyer actually were surprised by the 3 things that were shared on the flyer? Anybody was surprised? Let me see a show of hands. Let me see a show of hands. Oh, everybody, oh, y'all knew all the stuff. Y'all were good.
No.
Y'all were all good.
Coaches
All right,
always got us guessing.
Because I know that for most people, a lot of people are oftentimes surprised by the fact that walking 8,000 steps a day cuts the risk of dying by 50%.
Mm.
I want to let that just kind of settle. Just to give that chance, just to settle. Just 8,000. Let me ask you a question. If someone said to you, here's how I can cut your dying by 50%, cut the risk of you dying by 50%, and said, here's how I do it, would you be willing to do it?
Yeah.
Here's the crazy part. It was a trick question because of the fact that I just said something that most people aren't doing, right? And even many people that are on tonight that heard me say it still won't change their lifestyle, and they don't even realize that that one factor can change your life that much, that dramatically. How many of you knew that this is a huge part, that strength training boosts your metabolism? Here's the crazy part. Up to 72 hours, it's still burning fat after you're done exercising. How many of you knew that? So after you're done strength training and working on building muscle and working on strength training, doing anything that did resistance on your body, 72 hours later, it's still working. So here's the difference. A lot of us do cardio stuff, and cardio is great for your body. But what you want to do is make sure you build strength training in, because cardio benefits your body while you're doing it. Strength training benefits your body for up to 72 hours later. Your metabolism increases and continues to burn fat up to 72 hours later. So when you go ahead and you say, I'm going to do those crunches, those push-ups, those whatever, understand that the work that you did doesn't just benefit you in immediacy. 72 hours later, you're still getting benefit. And then here's the crazy one. Here's the one I thought would blow your mind. sitting 6+ hours a day actually may shrink your brain. Shrink your brain. See, I want you to understand, we don't realize these things that are huge, but they're big. So let me give you some additional facts that I want you to kind of make note of. This is important. Adults naturally lose muscle as they age if they are not doing strength training. So your body naturally, your muscle diminishes as you get older, period. So the National Institute on Aging says aging is associated with the loss of muscle mass. Strength and function and strength training helps maintain muscle mass and mobility as we age. So most people don't realize that part of the reason why you are actually getting older, part of the reason why you're actually losing your ability to be able to move, to have the mobility that you actually so desperately want and desire, is because you're not strength training. You're not building the muscle mass that automatically you lose as you get older. So this is the reason why this strength training matters so much. If we don't intentionally work on strength training, we are, whether we realize it or not, we're just losing a fighting battle, right? That you don't even realize that you're fighting, whether you pay attention to it or not. And so we're actually moving backwards. This is not a situation where you stay the same. You're literally moving backwards if you aren't moving forward. So I'm curious to hear, how many of you have noticed as you've gotten a little bit older? I heard David say, yeah, it's like, I'm a little older, I can feel it, right? How many of you noticed, and you're like, I'm sure you probably just wrote it off, well, it's part of getting older, right? How many folks just kind of, you notice your mobility is not what it used to be, just part of getting older. How many of you noticed the discomfort or pain that happens sometimes with things that you're like, I could do that so easily before? Just not using those muscles the same, and the muscles are losing mass. And as a result, that's why you find yourself having new back pain problems when you do regular movements. It's the reason why you find yourself hurting yourself more easily. All that comes as a result of this. Fact number 2, strength training helps with independence, not just appearance. Now, everyone thinks it's about, oh, I want to look good, right? I want to have the kind of look in my body. But it's about independence. It's about understanding that the decision you make to strength train now decides whether or not you'll be in a wheelchair or a walker later.
It's true.
And a lot of folks aren't even thinking about that. They're just thinking, well, that stuff just happens because you get older. No. You have to intentionally make the decision to realize that 6-pack of abs that you want to have, that, that's your core muscles. And when you work that core muscle in the middle, as far as the 6-pack, and work the muscles in the back, the fact that you work those muscles are actually helping your body to stabilize and be able to work more effectively. So you're seeing people that have those things, you're thinking, oh, it's not just about appearance. It's about, those are muscles that help to stabilize the body. Your core is some of your most important muscles in your body. And people think it's all about, I want to look good. It's much bigger than that. And that's the key. Because I'm sure a lot of us do not want to have to depend on anybody else as we get older, right? We want to be able to take care of ourselves. And this is a really important piece. Number 3, strength training supports bones, not just muscle. Now, this is a really important piece. A lot of folks don't realize that physical activity actually dictates the density of your bone muscle and helps to, of your bones rather, and helps to protect your bone health and reduce risk related to falls and fractures. So most folks are not thinking that, well, they're like avoiding movement sometimes, trying to protect themselves from the damage that it might do. And they don't realize it's the complete opposite. So a lot of people think that, hey, if I do this, it's going to damage my muscle. If I do strength training, it's my bones rather, it's going to hurt me, right? I'm lifting heavier weights that's actually adversely impacting my bone. Complete opposite. The intention that you choose to actually build that muscle actually helps to strengthen your bone and helps you to have stronger bone as a result. So here's the crazy part. What sounds more valuable to you right now, losing 10 pounds or being stronger and steadier in your body? Think about that for a second. Because I think a lot of people, there's a big misconception. People get caught up in because muscle is heavier and denser than fat. So people get caught up in the number, right? They're focused on losing weight. And to them, since weight loss is more important, they don't realize that your denser bone, the muscle mass, actually increases your weight, which is actually better for your body because your body's better able to maintain and keep itself. So it's the opposite of what folks are thinking. They're so focused on weight loss that they're doing things and they're not taking care of their bodies to be able to build the muscle to help them be able to do that. Number 4, strength training can help you with blood sugar and handling your blood sugar. Most folks don't know that. So actually say the CDC says that strength training can improve insulin sensitivity and glucose metabolism. So your body actually processes sugar more effectively based upon you doing strength training. Now, I know some folks are like, what? I just want to make sure I'm not going to go deep in that. I just want to let that sit and just let folks just kind of understand what I just said so you understand the power of this. Number 5, the official recommendation is not extreme. So you're not supposed to do things that are like stupid hard and like crazy. It's not about extreme weights. It's not about, doing things to hurt yourself. It's about resistance that actually you have to like struggle to be able to do it. That's the key. If it's too easy, it's not doing anything for you. So here's the deal. I could sit here with this bottle, but here's the funny part. If I did this bottle for long enough, it would become resistant, right? After a certain amount of time, even though this bottle is light, and it's going to take a long time because this bottle is real light, right? Right? But the reality is this bottle over time would benefit me. So you want to have that balance where you're intentionally adding enough resistance to challenge your body. And so I remember when I was in college, what I had studied when I was doing some body, physiology stuff. They were saying that, your goal was to have lean muscle. And so to get lean muscle, they were saying, you want to have like 20 reps. Well, it all depends on what you're focused on, right? My most recent trainer said to me, actually, for me to increase my muscle density and to push my body harder, she said I should max out at 12 reps. She said when I get to 12, I should be struggling. She said, your goal is to push your body at the point where if you have 12 reps, by the time you get to 10, you're struggling to get it done. 10 is going to be hard, 11 is going to be hard, and 12 is going to be extraordinarily hard. And that needs to be the focus. And that has to, so your goal is to push your body so that you actually are able to get the resistance that allows you to be able to, that's the goal. Now, not so hard that you're going to hurt yourself. That's the key. It doesn't need to be extreme, but it should have that resistance to help you. And that's important. All right. So no one's asking you to live in the gym. No one's asking you to be there, 7 days a week. Here's the crazy part. 2 or more days of strength training is all that you need to be able to actually start helping your body. And no folks are like, what? Yep. They're saying on average, the average person does not need to do more than 3 days a week to be able to cover all the muscles in their body and get the strength training they need. So most folks could knock that out in about 30 minutes, 3 days a week. You're probably sitting like, what? Yeah, you don't need to, it doesn't need to be crazy. You can cover most of the muscles in your body by getting the sets you need, probably 3 sets of whatever exercise you're doing on a machine. 3 sets, choose a muscle muscles or body part that you're going to focus on. Arms. If you do arms, remember, whatever part of the body you're doing, there's 2 pieces to it, right? So you got the biceps and the triceps. So the muscles that are going, same thing with the abs, and then the muscles in your back. You want to actually work both sets of muscles to be able to have balance your body and not miss the muscle groups that matter. Now, let me ask this question. Does it feel more realistic now that I said 2 to 3 days a week? Does that feel more realistic for everybody? Does that feel like it's more doable now that you heard that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Because a lot of folks are probably thinking, oh my gosh, I can't do it. I see these folks doing this. It seems like that's nuts. I can't do that. I don't have time for that, right? All right, I'm almost done, y'all. Fact number 6, training can improve mobility and the quality of later years. Now, this is a really important piece because I think, again, what I'm talking about, and I've already said this before, your strength training is not just about now. Yes, you can look better now. Yes, your body begins to get more toned and it looks good, but it's not about now. It's about the future. And you got to understand that you're adding decades of life to your body by doing strength training. That's the key. As far as helping with the muscle mass, as far as helping you with improving mobility, increasing your health in your years of your body, because this is the key component. And this is why it's saying this. It helps to burn visceral fat. Does anybody know what visceral fat is? Anybody know what that fat is when they hear visceral
Belly fat?
That's right, belly fat. Mm-hmm. So it's usually the fat around your torso, right? So it's usually going to be your belly, your stomach, right? This fat that's around the key organs of the body. Here's the key. That fat is some of the hardest fat to burn. And one of the most effective ways of burning that fat is strength training. So this is why they're saying that it's going to improve your mobility and also your quality of life, because that fat that's around those organs is actually adversely impacting your organs. The faster that you burn that fat and remove that fat from your body, the better. So when you're doing, push-ups or whatever you're doing to work your chest muscles, or you're working your obliques, or you're working your abs, or whatever you're doing, the muscles around your torso, anything you do with these muscles around your torso, all of that is going to help your body get rid of visceral fat, which is a part of what helps to improve your quality of life. It's really important. Right?
I try to give it away, but I can't.
You and me both. I'm right there with you, bro. Oh my gosh. All right, so I'm gonna end off with some myths. I want to make sure let's see if y'all can figure out if this is myth or truth. All right, here we go. Real quick game. Let me see who wants to guess. Myth or truth, right? Strength training is only for younger people.
Myth.
False.
Right? Older adults benefit tremendously from strength training, especially for maintaining function, balance, and independence. Myth number
True.
Yep. All right. Awesome. Myth number 2. Yes, indeed. Right. Now you see, right? Makes a huge difference. Myth number 2. You have to use heavy weights for it to count.
No.
False.
False.
No.
False. Absolutely false. So it's a myth, right? So resistance can come from body weight, from bands, light dumbbells, or even controlled chair stands. What matters is challenging the muscles safely. All right. It's a really important thing to remember. All right. Myth number 3. If I walk, I don't need strength training.
False.
False.
Yeah. Walking is excellent, but it does not fully replace muscle strengthening work. Right? So it's important that you understand both aerobic activity and muscle strength training are vital for both. Right? Myth number 4. Strength training can help me age better.
Yes.
Yes, indeed. And that is one of the best supported reasons to do it. And it's really important. All right. So listen, y'all, the goal isn't perfection. The goal is to stop assuming that strength training is optional. It's not. This is not optional. It's really important for you to be able to understand that this is huge. So I want y'all to understand, you don't need to do a lot, but you need to do something. So someone on this call said, Coach Cecil, I'm not joining a gym tomorrow. What can I start doing this week? Here's what I'll tell them, all right? Because I'm going to ask you all to join the gym. Here's a few simple options. I'm going to give you all 5 simple options. Option number 1, chair squats. All you got to do is sit down and stand up slowly 8 to 10 times.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Sit down and stand up 8 to 10 times. Option number 2, wall push-ups. That's right. You heard me correct. I said wall push-ups. You're like, what? Yeah, wall push-ups. where you can literally stand at a wall and do 8 to 10 controlled reps. That's it, on a wall. Option number 3, light dumbbells or water bottle curls. Yes, that's right. I intentionally showed you that earlier, right? So light dumbbells or water bottle curls. 8 to 12 reps. Option number 4, step ups on a low stair and hold support if needed, right? So just simply on a step up, step down on a step, just down. Yeah. I'm sure everyone here has at least one step in the house, right? Just one. You don't need a whole bunch, just one. Step on one step. So it's simple. Option number 5, carry something safely, groceries, light dumbbells, or water jugs with posture. Here's the key. So standing straight and just simply carry that thing a certain distance. That's it. 5 things. I gave you all 5 easy things. Wasn't hard. We all can start here. Simple. All right, so let's start the conversation. Here's where accountability comes in. All right. So for this week, not next week, this week, what's one of these things that you can realistically add? And I appreciate, thank you so much, Kay, for posting in the chat. What's one of these things that you can realistically commit to and say, I will do? What's one? I'm asking folks to speak out.
Chair squats.
All right, she said, all right, chair squats. Well, thank you so much, Kay. Come on.
Picking things up and putting them down in groceries.
All right, Clay, love it. Anyone else? Come on, y'all. Come on.
I like the chair squats.
Chair squats.
Chair squats.
Chair squats. All right, cool.
Climbing stairs.
All right, climbing stairs. Love it. All right, of course, yep. Anyone else?
Use the resistor bands for my arms.
All right, fantastic.
Curl with the water bottles.
Curl with the water bottles. Love that. Thank you so much, Michelle.
So can I say something real quick?
Sure, go ahead, man.
Man, after listening to you, I would say, all y'all, please pray for me. I feel like I've been bamboozled by my doctor's office.
And listen, this is why we have this community, right? Tara, want to say something, hon?
Yes, the advice given is not medical advice, and you still should talk to your doctor before you try or do anything. Just giving that disclaimer so there's no problems later.
Yeah, I hear you.
Absolutely.
I hear you. 100%.
But one thing I will say about the doctors, baby, ain't no money to be made and no cure. So if we well and we healthy, they don't get to write no scripts. They don't get no kickbacks on them prescriptions. So it is not going to be all of these things. This is what makes sense to me. Just hearing you and knowing that we have, like, that's where he getting the bamboozle from. And that's what I'm picking up from it, because they're not talking about it. And that makes sense why the seniors get the Silver Sneakers program, because they want them to not have to go in a nursing home so quick. So they want them to keep their independence and mobility as long as they can. But it ain't really no money to be made if everybody's well and healthy.
Yeah,
that's true.
Listen,
Absolutely.
It's facts, because a lot of the medication and things. Listen, my doctor and I, we battle on a regular basis. She knows how we do. We have real conversations, and she's like, she want to try to put me on this medication. I'm like, listen. She was all like, oh, here's all these shots you need to take. I was like, I'm good. I don't need all these shots. What up? And again, I'm not here to tell you all how to live your life. That's not what I'm here to do. Everyone has to, you make your choices for yourself. But I want to be intentional, where my goal is, like, it's so easy to just try to pass off one pill after the next and just say, take all these medications, right? And so we have to, there's some things that we have to do that help us to be able to live healthier lives. And so that's what this community is about. This is what we're doing here. So to understand that a part of what you all join and we're invited to be a part of tonight is what it looks like to be a part of a community that helps you move forward. So many of you that are on tonight, it's your first time learning about the Dream Team. You've never heard of us. You don't know who we are. This is what we do. Our focus is, we understand. And again, as Tar said, I'm not a doctor, I'm not an expert. That's not what I'm here for. I'm just going to share with you everything I shared tonight was just researched information from various resources, whether it's NIH, whether it's WHO, whether the World Health Organization, whether it's, all the different, I did the research and said, here's some information based upon to help you to be able to make better choices and understand why strength training can help you change your life. And so that's the key. That's all we're focused on tonight. It's not a matter of me I'm not here to diagnose diseases or anything like that. It's just me saying, let's help you live healthier, so you can have a better quality of life. So thank you all so much for being a part of tonight's conversation. So for me, it's all about us being able to intentionally make a decision. So you need to start embarrassingly small. And that's that. And I want to make sure you understand, if that's where you got to begin, small is not silly. It's sustainable. I want to make sure everybody that sinks in. So I only asked you one thing. I didn't ask y'all, well, how many things? One thing. Start small.
Mm-hmm.
Start small. And so we're going to create accountability for everyone that's on tonight. If you want to be a part of an accountability group, we're going to have an accountability group. We're going to use, and I'm going to intentionally have that space where we can use this, where we can share how many steps we did for the day. Because I mean, all of us need to be working towards that 8,000 steps anyways, because we all going to go ahead and extend our lives, right? Just off that. But we're going to use that accountability group. And for those that are, I'm not putting people in or forcing. If you want to be a part of that change, and that's what you want to be a part of, the person that invites you tonight, just reach out to them, and I'll add you into the WhatsApp group that we'll create that will allow you to be able to now, for us to have accountability and encourage each other to live and make healthier choices. All right, we'll make that available to you for you to be a part of, so you can learn, you can grow, you can develop alongside us, and we can all create change together. All right, and that's what this is about. So this is what this is about. If everyone is just focused on creating simple change, that's what this is. We're all going to just have some takeaways that focus on us being able to make. So I'm asking everybody to be a part of a 7-day challenge. We're not, those that want to be a part of it, you can be a part of it if you want to be part of the 7-day challenge. The 7-day challenge really is focused on you just choosing one thing that you're going to focus on and you're going to do. Just focus on doing it for the next 7 days. That's it. Something simple. Simply focus on the 8,000 steps, and then simply choose that one thing that you're going to do is strength training wise. And there's the crazy part. Out of the 7 days, all I'm asking you to do is just add that little piece in. We talked about it. If you're talking about the chair squats, it's just 8 to 10 of those jokers, and you do it in a day and say, I did my chair squats today. I did it. I knocked it out. I went ahead and I carried. I did some steps, reps for my steps today. Start small, whatever it was. And we're going to encourage each other, and we're going to learn, and we're going to grow together. And that's how we're going to change our lives. All right. So if you understand that we're going to build in, we'll start with starting small. We're going to start with some things that help you to be able to get started, and then we're going to work our way through it. So that's what it comes down to. Start small, and we'll grow and build on top of it. Everybody okay with that?
Yes.
All right. Any questions before we wrap up for the night?
As far as the, I'm just curious, like some of the places that you got this information from, is that something that you can have available, or?
100%. Anybody want my notes? I'm happy to share with you.
Okay.
My pleasure. Get my contact information from the person who, in fact, you know what I'll do? If you join the WhatsApp group, I'll just put the notes in there so you have the information there so you can all have it. So I'll just put all the notes in that WhatsApp group for anybody that wants to have it. All right. All right. Anybody, any other questions before we wrap up?
I just want to say thank you for having the mindset to share the things that we need to be intentional in thinking about, because I know for myself, once I hit a half a century, I just thought I had it already. You know, I'm like, I'm good. And then I noticed working remotely, working from home, living such a sedentary lifestyle, because I started working remote way before COVID hit. So that's been since 2017. And then I realized just what you were talking about. The muscles in the back of my legs, I'm like, ugh, they're a little saggy. I'm kind of like old lady skin already, and I ain't that old yet. So I'm just letting me see the things that I need to be intentional about, the things that I need to pay attention to be a better steward of this one body I get, because we don't get a do-over. If you mess it up, you one and done. So I'm grateful for you. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you so much. And Kay, who invited you tonight?
You.
I thought so. I was like, I think I invited you, right? I thought. Anybody else?
You reminded me of the workouts I used to do when I was younger. Bruce Lee workouts, man. Because Bruce Lee, I seen how he worked on train when he was living. He didn't lift no heavy weights. He just did it repeatedly and got worn out, and still he strength trained. He really did. That's why he was so fast.
Well, it's absolutely 100%. Stefan, you're about to ask something.
Oh, no. I was going to say, when Clay said when he was young, I said, what are you talking about?
He must have been two.
No, brother. But I just want to say you.
Before I had this brain injury.
No, I just want to say you the bomb, Cecil. I appreciate everything you shared and everyone else on this call.
Well, Stefan, wonderful to have you here, man. Welcome to the community. Let's learn and grow together, y'all. So I'll get all everybody's information, and we'll make sure we, like I said, we'll create the WhatsApp group. And if there's other folks that you know that you're like, hey, that I need to be a part of this as well, spread the love. Like I said, every Monday night we'll have different conversations, talking about different things. So folks need to understand. So next week we're talking about finances. So next week our conversation, I'll share the flyer about next week. So that'll come out later on tonight. And it's going to be pay yourself first. How to pay yourself first. So that's what we're talking about next week. So we're going to be talking about what that looks like and how to be able to do that. So any other questions before we close out for the night? Any questions or comments?
Yeah, I want to make a comment real quick. This is Lisa.
Hey.
Hello, everyone. So I'm gonna tell my walking partner that she's taking years off my life by going on this business trip. But that's actually why we started walking. So we do about an hour each morning before the sun is up, and we've been doing it in the cold weather. I have a heated jacket, so anyone who wants to walk in the winter, try that heated jacket. It is the bomb. And because I have to turn it off before we done with the walk. So we get about 10,000 steps in when we go walking in the morning. And then we also, since we're getting older, we do the weighted vest. So the weighted vest is about 20, 25 pounds. So that's another thing. I don't know, if you're walking anyway, just put a vest on. It could be any weight you want to start with. And again, I'm not a medical doctor, so consult with your physician. But if you walk it anyway, just throw a vest on. And I find that it helps. But this has been motivational because there's other health stuff that I need to do too that this has triggered in my mind. And I like the chair squats as well. So I'll be doing that for our 7-day challenge. But thank you. This was nice. Nice meeting everyone.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Appreciate it to have you here. And I'll say one last thing before you go. So I have a gentleman who was a part of my book club years ago, who started a book club with me, and he's like almost 70 years old, but he still runs and plays basketball and swims. He does the Senior Olympics, and he said that the way that you take your walking to the next level, he says make it, they say high intensity. You do high intensity intervals. So what you do is you walk regular pace, and then you do a short, like 20-second burst where you move fast, and that actually gives you the HIIT training impact on your walk. And the next piece he said is that you intentionally build hills into your walk. So you build some hills that will raise your heart rate and build hills into it. And the last piece he said, which is important, he said if you can, and everyone's needs are different, he said do like as you're walking, kind of like a squat kind of walk for like a few steps, and just kind of build that into you, because he said it actually builds resistance into that walking. So I'm calling you, Dr. Lisa, to find out about that heated jacket, because I'm gonna need it for this. I bought ski attire because I walk my dog every day. We out in this cold for real. And so some of these days were like some bitter, crazy, unbelievable cold days. It was nuts. So I'm looking for that heated jacket for real. That right there that's some next level type stuff, because I was.
Oh, it is nice. And I turn it on before, like 5 minutes before I go out, especially when I go walk the dog. I turn it on and it's nice and cozy. I know I'm cheating. I don't care. I don't care.
Hey, listen, you ain't cheating, you making it work. You making it do what it do. All right, y'all, it's 9 o'clock. I promised I wouldn't keep y'all past 9. I appreciate everyone. My name is Cecil Calise, and I'm just grateful for each and every one of you. You can call me Coach Cecil. So as I say every day, if you can dream what God can achieve it, let's go out. Let's make our dreams our reality. Because you know what?
We deserve it.
Indeed. We bless y'all. Have a good night, everybody. Take care.